Hare Krishna. So we'll start with the prayers. Om Agyantimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurulmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Vishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupadamayyam Dadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shrivatapatkamlam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Bhajana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhamvitamsha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namne Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunvadi Pasadestane वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदनाय कृष्णप्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौतस्य नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपसा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्ते तत्कांचन गौरांगी शिरा देवेन्द्रावनेश्वरी विष्णुभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्याम जगन्नाथाय ते नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So since there is no presentation, we'll directly begin with the class. So give me a minute, I'll display. Hare Krishna. I think it must be visible to all of you. Yeah. Hare. Okay. Mm. So overrun with love, Radharani she decided to go for to meet Krishna privately for the first time. So there were auspicious signs in the night time. Rain clouds had covered the uh, sky, and they were looking like the tamal trees stretching over the evening sky because they were at the top. And Radharani, along with her confidential sakhis, she entered in the forest with a desire to meet Krishna. But it was a deep forest, so it was difficult to find. But as the sound of the palace guards, or the you can say street guards, it was becoming fade. Gopis were moving deeper and deeper into the forest. That means they were moving away from the village of Vrindavan. And Radharani, somehow she was just entering the forest searching for Krishna. So it was not like, there's some GPS or something like that. You can just find, oh, Krishna is in there, you have to go left or right. She was just entering in the forest. And how was she moving? She was moving by the power of Krishna Prem. And that Krishna Prem was propelling all the movements of Radharani. And that is how she was entering in the forest. And just so that her relatives can't recognize her in the night time, so she wore a blue sari because it's dark and blue sari doesn't look, it's not many times visible. But still, Radharani is golden, so she can become visible. So what did she do? She smeared her entire body with musk. And musk is, of course, you must have not seen musk because it's not available now. Musk is black in color. So because she has covered herself with musk and she was wearing a blue sari, so nobody was able to recognize her. And abandoning all the sort of fears because of wild animals, all sort of anxiety, hesitation, she just ran into the forest as fast she can run. And although she didn't knew the way, it was Krishna Prem which was pushing her in the forest path. Uh, and only one thing was going on in his mind, on in her mind. Somehow I have to meet Krishna. And when she reached the meeting place, her mental changes help her to recognize Krishna is somewhere nearby. Krishna is somewhere nearby. And that shows the supernatural nature of love. And both Radha and Krishna, they were anticipating to meet each other. And suddenly, the right thigh start quivering for Radharani. She could understand some auspicious signs are there. And then suddenly her legs became like stone pillars. Because now what had happened is she has been overcome by the ecstasy which was coming because she was just about to meet Krishna. So her legs became like stone pillars and tears were rolling down her cheeks, her hands, entire body was shivering, and she lost all sense of direction, where to go, where not to go. And by that time, other gopis also had come. So they caught the hand of Radharani, hmm, and with great hesitation, somehow she entered in the kunja. But now suddenly the sinus personified overpowered Radharani, and suddenly she wanted to run away. So you can see in the next slide that she was about to meet, but then she wanted to go away. But then all the Sakhis helped. All the Sakhis, they asked Radharani to move closer to Krishna. So slowly, slowly, she inched near Krishna, and she had a strong desire to embrace Krishna. But then, because of shyness, she was unwilling. And Sakhis, they helped. So Sakhis are very clever and very intelligent. So one of the Sakhis told to Radharani, "Hey Sakhi, today we beg one thing from you. Please allow Krishna to touch you once. And after this, we'll never force you to touch him again." So being compassionate on distressed, so please free Krishna of the anxiety. Please be kind to Krishna. So in this way, Sakhi somehow persuade Radharani to enter in the kunja. So we can remember the same kunja which we read in the first chapters. Four trees connected by the creepers filled with flowers. And that is how she entered in the kunja. But still, because Radharani was not expert in love making till now, she is meeting Krishna for the first time. So she was feeling very shy. And when Sakhis were about to leave Radha and Krishna alone, uh, Radharani also tried to leave. But that time Krishna grabbed the hand of Radharani, and then somehow her desire to go away went away. And when Sakhis were moving away, Radharani indicated them by the eyebrows, "Don't go away, stay here with me." And Sakhis also by their glances, they reassured Radharani, "Don't worry, we'll not go away, we'll stay here only." Uh, and after that, Radharani, she closed her eyes out of shyness. So then Krishna was asking Radharani, is there any trouble with you? But she was not responding. She was feeling too shy. Hmm. So while now you can see the next slide. Yeah, yeah, this one. Hmm. So while holding right hand, her right hand and his left hand, Krishna went to touch Radharani. And somehow Radharani was like putting her hand, trying to run away. Hmm. And then she stood at some distance away from Krishna. So internally she had a desire to uh, come nearer to Krishna, but externally was she was showing as if she wants to go away. And this contrary behavior was increasing further pleasure of Krishna. Because ultimately, love means to please the beloved. And Radharani exactly knows how to please Krishna. She's the best one. No one else knows better than Radharani how to please Krishna. So even by her gesture, she knew how to behave in a way that pleases Krishna. So in this way, something which is very difficult to achieve brings greatest satisfaction. And that is one of the reasons why Krishna enjoys paramar love in Vrindavan. So we'll speak a little bit about that. So why Radharani is married to Abhimanyu, then uh, Krishna is calling her. The reason is when there are more restrictions, then there is a greater opportunity to show sacrifice. There's a greater opportunity to show that how there is love which transcends even the worldly morality. And that opportunity was given to Vrajavasis. So what is highest is not just uh, closeness to Krishna, it is love for Krishna. Hmm. So Krishna even speaks to uh, Brahmana Patnis and Gopis also. Na tata sannikarshena pritiyat gato grahan. So he says that just by being in physical proximity with me, nobody can develop love for me. One develop love for me by meditating on me, hearing about me, singing about me. Similarly, we find in the first canto of Bhagavatam, these prayers of Hastinapur, ladies of Hastinapur. So there they say that uh, the queens of Dwarika are so fortunate that they got an opportunity to embrace and kiss Krishna. So there Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, and even Prabhupada also comments. He says, and what about gopis? Of course, it comes in their prayers also. They say that gopis would imagine of this favor and would faint. So in one sense, if we see, uh, the queens of Dwaraka had greater opportunity to be there with 24 hours with Krishna. Still, gopis are considered superior because they had more love for Krishna. So for them to even imagine that I will get a opportunity to embrace Krishna, kiss Krishna, by that only they would faint. So this proves that it's not just a physical proximity, it is that love which is the highest treasure. Hmm. Another thing, now sometimes devotee object is, should we go into these topics or not? So if one understands the greatness of Krishna, so in Bhagavatam says, Hidarogam as apanoti acharena dhiraha. So if somebody hears these topics, understanding the greatness of Krishna and Radharani's love, then very soon one's heart will be devoid of lust and it will be filled with love. Achiren means very soon. So the same thing acts like a medicine. So considering uh, that nature by our philosophical understanding, now we'll hear more. Yeah. Okay. And then Krishna tried to embrace Radharani, She arched her eyebrows and she said, tried to get up from the pastime bed and run away. Uh, so, although she was displaying a position when Krishna was trying to advance, but actually she wanted to please Krishna with her youthful behavior. And that is meaning of love. Why gopis are considered highest? Because they want to serve Krishna in all the ways, including their own bodies. By their body, mind, from all ways, they want to serve Krishna. So, anyway, uh, although Sakhis were inducing Radharani, Krishna was speaking enchanting words, but then none of these things were successful to convince Radharani to submit to Krishna. And somehow Krishna conquered Radharani's fortress of unwillingness. So Krishna, what he did is he gave a sidelong glance, he roared very loudly and forcefully embraced Radharani. And in this way, Krishna drowned in the shower of inconceivable loving bliss. So same Lord who is called Atmaram, who is self-satisfied, actually Radharani is our Atma. Because Radharani is our internal energy. See the Antarang Sakti of the Lord. So in this way, changing moods of love expressed by Radharani were like various phases of moon. So sometimes there is a full moon, then there is a decrease of the phases, then there is Amavasya, and again there is increase of phase. So in this way, somehow, sometimes in a moment, Radharani was appearing, being thrown away, and sometimes he was coming very close to Krishna. Sometimes he was looking very unattainable, and sometimes he would touch Krishna. Sometimes she was looking very, very unattainable, and sometimes she was looking like garland of desert flowers adorning the neck of Krishna. So sometimes she would go closer to Krishna, sometimes she would go away from Krishna. And Radharani, she's not different from her name. So her name is also, it also flows with intoxicating nectar. And one who chants the name of Radharani can understand that. So wrapped with the embrace of Krishna, Radharani lost all anxiety, independence, fear of thundering clouds, everything. And she became totally overwhelmed with bliss and she forgot everything else. At the same time, all the Sakhis, they also abandoned their sadness and they started laughing very loudly, seeing that ultimately Radharani and Krishna, they have achieved what they had desired. Yeah. Yes, Aditya Gaurav, here's a question.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, didn't know. I don't
Hmm.
know, Prabhuji, if this question is related or not,
Hmm.
but I am not naming any sampradaya, but they chant the name of Srimati Radharani.
Hmm.
So is that authoritative? Matlab, how does it is different than Hare Krishna? Of course, Hare Krishna is the Kali Yuga mantra Mahaprabhu has said,
Hmm.
and but like here it is written that
Hmm.
who chants the name of Srimati Radharani, and I don't know how to ask, but this is only my question.
Yeah,
If
yeah. See,
I made sense.
uh, main thing is Radharani, or you can say Krishna in the mood of Radharani has appeared as Lord Chaitanya, and he told us to chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and that is why we are chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So who can understand what is best for us? It's our Supreme Mother, Radharani. And she has actually entered in the mood of Krishna. And in this way, both Radha and Krishna are telling us to chant Hare Krishna, and that's why we chant Hare Krishna. So for us, it should be very clear. Now about other sampradayas. So it depends on what their acharyas are preaching and teaching. Like Some people from Kumar Sampradaya chant this Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Sam, Radhe Sam, Sam Sam, Radhe Radhe. So instead of Hare, they have Radha. So that's totally bona fide. There are some people in Vrindavan who are chanting only Radhe Radhe. Now, many of these people are really having that mood. Like if you go to Govardhan, for them, Giriraj is the topmost. So anything happens, they just remember Giriraj. If you go to Nandgaon, they say Balram is the supreme personality of Godhead. Krishna is just a child. Balaram is supreme personality of Godhead. So they are on a different stage of bhav. Similarly, if you go to Barsana, they chant Radhe Radhe. For them, Radharani is like most powerful one, the greatest one. How did Krishna lift Govardhan Hill? Because Radharani was glancing at Krishna. She was empowering Krishna. So they have a different mood altogether, which is totally bona fide. But there may be some people who chant, who ask to chant Radharani, but we have to ask their philosophy also. Because there are some preachers who speak, you can say their philosophy is mixed with Mayavad. So then we don't know. It may be dangerous. Uh, what is that sloka? Hmm. Srotam naiva kartavyam sarputishtam yathapaya. Hmm. So that the milk is very nourishing. If it has a drop of poison, then it acts very poisonously. So one has to be careful. Uh, so one should not hear even Hari Katha from such people. Srotavyam naiva kartavyam. Don't hear from them. So that is spoken. So that's why it doesn't matter just the externals. The whole philosophy behind why somebody is chanting matters. Like Mahaprabhu would praise people chanting Harinam. Not here everywhere. But then along with Raghunath Bhatt Goswami. So this particular person came who was chanting the name of Ram, 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 Ramdas Viswas. Mahaprabhu even didn't look at him because he was chanting Ram to become Ram. Like even if you ordinarily go outside, like some shopkeeper is saying Hare Krishna, we understand what is the mood. Why is saying Hare Krishna? He wants you to purchase something. You are Hare Krishna, I am Hare Krishna. No, let us make profit. So even we understand the mood. Why won't Radharani and Krishna understand the mood? So that's why it's not just the holy name, it's the mood with which holy name is chanted matters. So same thing is true with the name of Radharani also. Yes, Jantu.
Thank you so much, Rosie. Very insightful.
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Yes, Prabhu, I have a question. So here, yeah, as you were discussing that there was something Krishna was trying to do, and apparently Radharani was resisting. But
Hmm.
then you explained that that was actually she was thinking of pleasing Krishna. I mean, actually it was pleasing Krishna.
Hmm.
So yes, I was thinking, yeah, I mean, we have read many such instances in Krishna Lila where apparently, I mean, Radharani does something which is kind of different from what Krishna might be wanting there at
Hmm.
that time. I mean, apparently, like
Hmm.
just an example, like when in the Leela of Radha Kund and Samakund and so on. So is it always the case that actually, I mean, Krishna is pleased in those circumstances? I mean,
Hmm. Hmm.
it is just that apparently it feels like that. Okay, I mean, like what the gopis or the Radharani they are doing that is different from what Krishna is wanting, but actually Krishna is always pleased. Is it like that?
Yeah, see, generally when we say mood, so Madhurras is filled with Madhurras, Vatsalaras, Sakharas, Santaras, Dasaras, all of them are there. So sometimes gopis in the form of Santaras, they show their submission to Krishna. But then sometimes in the mood of Vasal Ras, they even control Krishna. Because Madhur Ras has all the rasas within it. So then when all the things are displayed time to time, that increases the love. Like for us also, like now suppose you visit some hotel and there may be receptionist. She speaks so kindly. She would never argue. Even you become angry, she'll say, "Sir, please sit down, take water, and this and that." At the same time, when we go in home, mother would sometimes chastise also. Hey, nonsense! No, you're not eating properly. You're becoming so lean and thin. Eat nicely. So she may be apparently looking very harsh, but we that is more loving. We don't want to stay with that receptionist. We want to stay with our mother. So similarly, uh, Radharani is sometimes submissive and sometimes aggressive also. Even in the Rasmandal, we'll see later on, when Krishna had returned, all the gopis were like touching Krishna and saying, Krishna, please forgive us, and this and that. And there was one gopi who was biting her lips and angrily looking at Krishna. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, she's Radharani. Krishna told that, no, just see, I just disappeared from that just to increase your love for me. I just received, Radharani, what? Why did you leave? It's not a good reason. You want to increase love. We already have love for you. So that is how Radharani is from left wing. Left wing is sometimes she's very strict and opposes. And Chandravali is soft. She's from the right wing. And same Radharani has explained to Chandravali because Radharani tries to give all sorts of rasas to Krishna. And that's why she has expanded so many gopis. And in this way, she takes different roles. But because Radharani is sometimes strict also, sometimes she obeys. And that gives a lot of variety to Krishna. And that's why Krishna loves Radharani the most.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Very helpful.
Thank you. Okay, so we'll move ahead. Um, Now, wrapped with the embrace of the effulgence of Krishna, Radharani lost all anxiety, independence, fear of thundering clouds. She was overwhelmed with bliss and she forgot everything.
And,
Hmm. And Sakhis also now they were laughing.
yeah,
And now they were glancing towards Radharani and they were commenting. So this was rasa. You understand? Sometimes among devotees also we pull others' legs. So they were doing that. So that time there was the monsoon season and there was a roaring. Zzz, so it's like clouds were roaring. And they started praising the roaring of the cloud, dark monsoon clouds. And they said, a cluster of dark rain clouds, due to your beautiful bodily complexion, you are qualified to make friendship with Krishna because you are the same complexion like Krishna. Indeed, you are the giver of blissful mellows, and that's why you are blessed. For this friend of yours has befriended the freshest and best of the beauties. Who is that? Radharani. So, although it is very difficult for us to control Radharani simply by roaring, because thunder was roaring and Krishna also roared and embraced Radharani. So, you are saying that although it is difficult to control Radharani, but simply by roaring, your friend has forced her into submission. And it is your good fortune that your friend has achieved such an unprecedented victory. So, like you roar, you taught your friend to roar, and because of that roaring, he has controlled Radharani. And in this way, Sakis were joking, and Radharani became very shy. And now she was saying, no, 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 I want to move away from you. So her heart was spinning in the whirlpool of rasa, but she was somehow opposing. And then Krishna showed his boldness. Held the braid of Radharani in one hand and chin from the other hand. And somehow, with great difficulty, Krishna subdued the madness of ecstasy and he started treating Radharani with tenderness. So he kissed the Radharani's cheeks so gently that none of the designs on the face of Radharani went away. He kissed her eyes in such a way that none of her kajal was removed, which was looking dark like Yamuna. Krishna softly uh, touched Radharani So none of the drawings on the body of Radharani disappeared. And it was like a heart of a pure devotee that always remains undisturbed and free from any fault. And it is a well known fact that Shivlingas are held with respect. Similarly, Krishna respectfully embraced Radharani with from his chest, in such a way that the necklace on her chest didn't it was not broken. As one overlooks the spots on the moon but sees the effulgence of the moon, appreciate the effulgence of the moon. Similarly, Radharani was feeling ecstasy, overlooking the scratches that appeared on her lips and the breast and other places. As just as it requires courage to hold a poisonous snake, similarly, Krishna was fearlessly touching the creeper-like hairs near Radharani's navel. Sanatan Goswami also say that her hairs look like snake. Yeah. First, Rup Goswami had written that her hairs look like snake. So Sanatan Goswami chastised this is not proper. And later on, he personally saw Radharani having hairs like a snake. Yeah. So just as one thinks he will become successful by contacting the waters of holy places. Similarly, Krishna gently touched the lake of nectar in Radharani's navel. As Gyani attains liberation from material bondage with great difficulty, similarly, with great endeavors, Krishna loosened the knot binding Radharani's dress. And while Krishna was doing all these things, Radharani was saying, no, no, no. Exactly, in a way, all the Brahmavadis, they say, niti, niti. Nenam chindanti sistrani, nanam deti pavaka, na chanam klediyanti, na sosati maruta. So that is how they understand what is soul. Similarly, Radharani was saying, no, 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 no. And at that time, Krishna attacked Radharani with his sidelong glances. So as water forcefully cascades from a cloud, when it strikes the mountain peak, suddenly there is like bursting of the clouds. So then a lot of water pours down. Similarly, streams of loving tears poured from Radharani's eyes. And that shows that this is not ordinary. It's not ordinary. So, Prem Sarovar is made from the tears of coming from the eyes of Radharani and Krishna. Similarly, okay, so just give me a minute. What has happened is battery is getting discharged. So give me a minute, I'll recharge it. Oh no. So give me a minute. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Correct. Fun for me, actually. Yeah. So then, hmm, yeah, so we are talking about tears of love. Even when Lord Chaitanya, he would cry, tears would come like syringes. It would drench everyone. When Uddhava went to Vrindavan, so this is spoken in Rup Goswami writes that in Uddhav Sandesh, there is a book I read long, long before. So there he writes that when he was visiting Nand Bhavan, he saw a big lake there. And then later on, when he entered the Nand Bhavan, he found that lake had the lake had come in existence because of the tears of Yashodananda Maharaj. So this show that it's not ordinary. Even the entire body of her body, if it is taken away, sorry, entire water from the body taken away, it can't fill a lake. So it's not humanly possible. So Radharani, tears were coming out from her eyes. So just as the water rushing off over the jeweled rocks of Govardhan Hill make a very pleasant sound, similarly the jeweled bangles around Radharani's wrist vibrated very sweetly as her arms were trembling in ecstasy. So because of shivering, the bangles were making sound. They were looking very sweet. As clouds cover the mountain peaks during rainy season, similarly the broad chest of of Krishna was covered by the chest of Radharani. As southern breeze blows gently, similarly the movement of Radharani's body slowed down by the appearance of ecstatic symptoms. As the hot rays of the springtime cause perspiration, similarly Radharani's body broke out into pearl-like drops of perspiration because of Krishna Prem. Like fresh leaves make a rustling sound. Similarly, Radharani's leaf-like fingers were trembling slightly because of that love. As swelling waves sometimes disrupt a reservoir, similarly, Radharani's choking up due to ecstasy disrupted the movement of her voice. She was not able to speak properly. While Radharani was embraced by Krishna, somehow she was trying to hide her emotions by hanging her head shyly in a beautiful manner. And because of her youthfulness, Radharani was appearing intoxicated in bliss. With great difficulty, she somehow tolerated the surging waves of Madhur Ras moving in the heart. Uh, but at that time, suddenly, there was some change. Some inauspicious planet appeared as her lover's longing for conjugal union opposed her. And one of the Sakhis was standing near the door of the Kunja. She started speaking. So she said, "It seems as if Cupid has become bewildered about his duty in the pleasure pastime of loving divine couple. He's not able to do his duty." On the other side, we see Radharani's long lasting desire for love has now fructified and it has filled her with grief. Such are the ways of love. Because now she knew, I have to leave now. Hmm. So in both the states of happiness and distress, the desires of Radharani's heart have become unbearable. So when she doesn't get a opportunity to meet Krishna, she's morose. When she meets Krishna, she is fearful that she has to leave Krishna. So again, she is morose. That is how even the Prem Sarovar was made. Radharani was sitting next to Krishna, and then a bumblebee came. So Madhumangal, he started chasing the bumblebee. And then he said that, I have chased away Madhu, Madhava. So she thought that Krishna has gone away. She was sitting next to Krishna. But then, just thinking that Krishna has gone away, she started crying. And that is how from her tears Prem Sarovar was made. So in this way, Radharani was feeling very distressed. So Sakhi's watched Radharani collapse in the defeat of her love battle because Krishna finally achieved Radharani. And now Radharani was exhaling very strongly, like the stormy wind. Her hair braid and the knot in her waistcloth loosened, and somehow she held her waistcloth. Her favorite necklace had broken and scattered. And despite her confusion, she was trying to redress herself and ornament herself. Hmm. So Radharani was satiated, but Krishna wanted to make more love making. And somehow Krishna brought the entire pastime to a close. And then later on, you can see in the next slide. Yeah. Krishna personally braided Radharani's hairs and restrung her broken pearl necklace. He remade it. I don't know, this is the same pastime which happened at Kusum Sarovar. Kusum Sarovar, he does the same thing, braiding the hairs of Radharani. After retrying the knot of her waistcloth, Krishna removed the drops of perspiration from the forehead of Radharani by the cool touch of his lotus palm. He whispered sweet words of love that filled the heart of Radharani with endless joy. And all the gopis there, when they saw Radharani, they're approving. Very good. Hmm. So they talked about Radharani's recent love festival with great excitement. But when they were speaking, Radharani was able to hear it. But now by this time, Radharani was relaxed. She was not feeling shy. And she was glancing in the direction of Sakhis. But because she had a recent love pastimes, so she was now again feeling shy. And her head was down. So Sakhis were looking at her. So she was looking, but then she was looking at some other direction because she was not able to see them. And then she looked at the Sakhis again, and she was speaking through her glances. She was saying, "Why did you trap me with him? Uh, and because of that, I've lost my chastity now." And the Sakhis they replied, they said, "Night is almost over, and now we have to go home. So let your lessons in lovemaking end here from the Guru of conjugal love, and now we should leave." Swansaku Thakur says that one of the reasons Krishna is called Jagat Guru because he teaches the whole world, including gopis, how to cheat their family members and come and meet with him. So that's why Krishna is referred as Guru. And then pretending to be angry, Radharani curved her eyebrows and simultaneously she was playing with a lotus in her hand, showing that I'm churning the heart of Krishna. And then she replied to Sakhis in a voice mixed with laughter and chastisement. She was laughing on, she was chastising them also. Mm. So all the Radharani's mind was floating in joy, but she was showing some touch of anger. And she was speaking to Sakhis. She said, like you, I have acted as a heroine in the drama with Krishna. So Krishna was playing like a hero, and I was playing like a heroine. But today I became the play dolls in your hands. So somehow I willfully gave up my independence. So you, uh, so although you have instructed me in this particular art, I have dutifully followed your words as if directed by Providence. And then see the Sakhis. Now you should tell me who was inside the Kunja and who did not come in the Kunja. And when Krishna was seeing her exchanges with the Sakhis, Krishna was deriving great pleasure. And then Krishna started praising Radharani for the enchanting variety of loving moods. After hearing the tender words of Radharani, Krishna, who removes the distress of everyone, who enjoys rarely, attained the state of perfect bliss. Uh, But now his mind was reeling in distress. So he said, O Sakhis, O personified form of auspiciousness, by your mercy, I have become free from the grief by drinking the nectar flow of your words. So then, overwhelmed with love and affection, Krishna showed appreciation for each Sakhi by embracing each one of them. Hmm. So Yeah. So in this way, Radharani happily observed this, and then she spoke some joking words to these Sakhis now. Because now earlier Sakhis were teasing Radharani that Krishna has embraced Radharani, but now Krishna was embracing each of the Sakhis. So Radharani said, "Oh Sakhis, presently it seems that your mental illness is cured, and now your tendency to find faults in others is gone now. So earlier you were telling me, now just see you are also embracing Krishna. So now you are not making fun of others. Hmm? How can you make fun that you yourself are embracing Krishna?" And surprisingly, all the Sakhis who performed the joyful service of uniting Radha and Krishna were feeling the same pleasure which Radharani was feeling. And really speaking, that is the mood of our sampradaya. That's the mood of our sampradaya. So our sampradaya is the mood of manjaris. So manjaris assist in Radha Krishna pastimes. So when somebody directly contacts Krishna, he or she contacts Krishna on the basis of one's own strength. But when somebody unites Radha and Krishna, they derive the same pleasure with Radharani gets. With Radharani gets. So it's like we are Anu, we are small. That's why our portion of Anand is very small. But Radharani's portion of Ananda is like a huge ocean. One will be just drowned in that ocean. So one who assists Radha and Krishna in their pastimes derive the same pleasure which Radharani derives. And that is why this is the mood of our acharyas. So many of our acharyas are manjaris. Yes, Aditi Gaurav.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hmm.
Prabhuji, my question was Manjaris and Sakhis are different, right?
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
And Sakhis have the mood of making Krishna and Radharani united, but at the same time matlab, in their minds also it comes, right?
Hmm, hmm,
We also want to enjoy Krishna.
hmm, hmm.
So that's the only difference. And gopis and Sakhis are same.
Same. Yes.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, okay, I understood. So in Manjari Bhav, there is no feeling of we want to enjoy Krishna. It's in Gopi Bhav, and only that's the difference, right?
No, see, actually, mandiris also want to enjoy, but it's like more of a service. They're more of
Hmm.
an assistant. So mandiri is like small, small girls of like you can say 4 year, 5 year old. Sakhis may be like okay, say 9 year, 10 years old, while Krishna is also 11 years old. So from the age difference, we can understand that they act more like an assistant.
Hmm.
And another difference between mandiris is that mandiris, because they're small girls, they get an opportunity to uh, be in the places which are more private.
Hmm.
In many private places, Sakhis are not allowed, but Manjaris are allowed. So, and Sakhis also, there are different clans. It's not same. There is a different group of Chandravali, there are different group of Radharani. Then there are group of unmarried gopis. They are called youth. It's not a ISKCON Youth Forum. It's different youth, Hindi
Hmm.
youth, Sanskrit youth. So there are different groups of uh, Sakhis are there. And generally they want the leaders to go and enjoy. So basic thing is that everybody wants to give enjoyment to Krishna. There's no uh, other desire. But the assistants of Radharani, including Mandiris, because ultimately we are assistant to Rupa Manjari. Rupa Manjari is assistant to Lalita Sakhi. And Lalita Sakhi is very dear to Radharani. So she tries to unite Radha and Krishna. So that is how entire line goes.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Okay. Hari. So Radharani says, "Oh Sakhis, yes, okay." So although that dearest Sakhi no longer relished intimate pastimes with Krishna, it somehow appeared to them that she still enjoyed such conjugal happiness. So though the night served in the best way possible by bringing dark Gopis called that night as dark only when night was about to end. Because night was the only time they would get to meet Krishna. But now when night was ending, that time they had to be separated. So they were feeling it like really this is separation. So in this way, they encountered severe unhappiness because of their separation. But now they took Radharani away from the Kunja and leading her to the home. Now you can see the next slide. Yeah. So they went to the home as if no, they went for some work. So after returning to Yavat, which is the uh, place where Radharani would stay with her husband. So after returning to Yavat, early that morning Radhika became happy and amazed on seeing Syamasaki. Syamasaki was there. So whose lips were beautified by rays of her tender smile. So she was smiling. And Syamasaki started reiterating the previous night's pastimes so that Radharani can again enjoy the same association in her mind. So, but then Radharani was feeling very shy and she was feeling very embarrassed, remembering the same pastimes. And due to having received Krishna's love, Radharani felt that she has attained some priceless jewel. So Syamasaki started speaking to Radharani. Oh Kalavati is expert in all arts. Please tell us, why are you acting so shyly because of your recent activities? World has never seen the type of bashfulness which we are showing now. Uh, if you become so shy, world will think that you had enacted some drama yesterday. It was not real love. But anyway, your weird body shows that you are exhausted from lovemaking yesterday. Your arms, like the stem of the lotus, hang limply because they have lost all the strength. Your lips are pallid, they have no more red color. The leaf designs on your cheeks are broken now, they are destroyed. Uh, so please tell us what new arts you are now studying in lovemaking. What disaster has befallen you? So you who are like fresh, tender creeper have been thrown suddenly by a high wind. And like a lotus is trampled by the elephant, it seems you are also trampled. You look like that fresh, tender, sweet garland that has been ravaged by the swarm of intoxicated bees. Like bees move around the garland. So, O Radhe, O embodiment of love, you have fulfilled what is very difficult to attain. Like Radhani was telling, he's called Tat Purusa, that Supreme Lord who is very difficult to attain. But now you have attained her, attained him. Long cherished desire of yours is fulfilled now. How could it be fulfilled otherwise? How else could the vines of the tree of our good fortune bear fruit? So Radharani reacted to Samasaki's direct, boldly presented questions by giving up all the deceit and became straightforward. She became straightforward now. Because Samasaki has revealed everything, now Radharani couldn't hide anything. So what is the use of becoming Sai? Now you can see in the next slide. So she was like becoming Sai. And somehow, surprisingly, Radharani covered her face with the edge of her sari, which you can see in the next slide. And she spoke to her smiling companion. She said, Oh, lotus-eyed Sama, how can I tell you where I have been or where I am going? And where is the path? Who has led me to his side? What happened to me? What happened to me after meeting him in that place? If I would had known all these things, then how could it remain unknown to you? Even I don't know any of these things. Alas, What is that which is beyond the reach of the mind and beyond the realm of the thought? Is it magic? Is it a dream? Or just a long period of bewilderment? Does he bring pleasure, distress, or both? Ah, as sometimes Radharani would say, don't love Krishna, you will be most miserable. That means love Krishna. Or is he beyond all this? I can't tell at all. But he makes my heart palpitate and then I fall unconscious. Only this much impression remains with me. So while smiling, Samasaki, she jokingly said, O Radhe, whose eyes defeat the blue lotus. Indeed, this is true that one cannot become a master in the art of love. Nobody can become master. Therefore, to become somewhat learned in this field, one should take lesson from the Guru, who is the Jagat Guru Krishna, Guru of conjugal union. So Radhika, who is endowed with good fortune, watched the ocean of her joy stand into ecstasy and surge with the waves from rising full moon of Syama Sakhi's joking words. She was in great ecstasy now. And tasting that mellow, Radharani said, "O beautiful one, from now on, I will not go anywhere near him, or even I will not lay my eyes on him. O intelligent one, but you can go and you can take lessons from that Guru. Since your scholarship will give me great delight. So I don't want to go to that Guru anymore. You go to that Guru, Krishna." And Samasaki laughed and joked with Radharani in that way. So at that time, Lalita Sakhi came and she started speaking. "Oh Radhe, you are certainly worshipable. So your proposal that Samasaki learns the art of lovemaking is befitting. Hmm. But if she stops her studies before mastering the subject, how will others be inspired to go on studying? So that's why I tell you, Radharani, you should go with Radharani and you should also take some lessons because she may stop studying. So you have to encourage her and you have that ability to complete the lessons. So you should complete the lessons from that Guru. In this way, they were not speaking in a straightforward manner, they were speaking in a very crooked manner because they were taught all these things by Krishna, how to speak. And suddenly, their speaking in a crooked manner helped, which you can see in the next slide. Yeah. So suddenly, Radharani's sister-in-law Putila comes there. So she arrived like a appearance of untimely windstorm. And when she came, Sakhi became very cautious upon seeing her. And among all of them, Lalita is very intelligent. So she pretended to teach some lesson to the Sakhis as if she is reading from a textbook. And you can see her no reading textbook. You can see in the slide also. So, so she continued reading from textbook in different tones. Sometimes he would speak in a high pitch, sometimes low pitch. And taking charge, Lalita spoke in a very hidden way so that Putila can't detect the meaning of actual discussion. So Lalita read, upon enrolling in the school, the students act obediently towards her teacher, who is the teacher Krishna only, and went on taking lessons. But Kutila, whose nature is sharp and cutting, became suspicious seeing Sakhis rejoicing so much in Lalita's reading. My God, they have got so much taste in this book. Something is not proper here. So Kutila spoke. Lalite, what are you teaching here? And Lalita said, actually, we are teaching the principle of surrender to the Guru. So who is that Guru? Krishna. And then Kutila said, but what is the meaning of what you just read about the disciple and all these things? And Lalita said, she learned what her Guru taught her, but then she left all the teachings. Actually, that lesson cannot be learned alone. And that is why I told her that it is better to learn along with someone. Don't learn alone, learn with someone else also. So I instructed her to take Samasaki along with her to learn the lesson. So now she's speaking truth only because she told her Radhani that you should go with Samasaki to Krishna. But then Kutla starts speaking. So what is the matter? I say I see nowadays that all of you have become very busy in associating with other people. Other people means other men other than husband. That is, she's pointing at Krishna. So Samasaki said, what do you mean? From their childhood, the Sakhis have been joyfully engaging in worship of different lots of planets, means different devatas. So when you're saying that they are become busy associating with other men, mostly you are referring to devatas. So they have been worshipping different devatas from childhood. So Kustila, why did you say these days they have been associating with others from their childhood? Because they are worshipping different devatas. So Kutila said, O Syame, Sam Anuraganaha, Sam Anuraganaha. I see you do not know that these gopis are very attached to Syam. Syam is Krishna. So Syam Anuragana means one who is very attached to Syam. And then Syamasaki said, it is well known fact that from childhood these gopis are attached to me. Syama means I am that Syam. My name is Syama. So Syamasaki said, no, everybody know that they are very attached to me. And then Kutla says, these gopis are always expert in art of talking from the side of Krishna. Pakhavati Kala. Krishna Krishna Paksha Vati Kala. So you are very expert in talking from the Krishna side. And Sama again used the word Krishna Paksha Vati Kala to mean this cannot be because moon diminishes in phases to darkness. Krishna Paksha, there's Sukla Paksha, Krishna Paksha. So Krishna Paksha Vati Kala means that moon diminishes in different phases to darkness and then it loses its beauty. So he says, no, no, no. Anyway, during Krishna Paksh, the moon goes down. So who will talk about it? Who will talk about the moon at that time during the Amavasya? And then Kutla said, Krishna Vartagaha. They follow Krishna very properly. We know that. And Krishna Vartaka can also mean. So he said, what? How is that you are discussing about forest fire? Ah, Krishna Varta Ga. That also means forest fire. That appeared the night after Krishna subdued Kaliya. So that Ga, that fire, which came after Krishna Varta, that episode of Krishna. So are you discussing about that forest fire? You talk referring to that forest fire? So she is speaking directly, Kutila, but Samasaki is like changing the words. And then Kutla said, are you testing me? That definitely gopis are lovers of that one Krishna who wears yellow garments. Pitambra Anuraganaha. And then Samasaki said, do not speak so rashly. What you are saying is just the opposite of what can be directly seen. Neela Arunar Ambara. They don't like Pitambar, they like Neelambar. Uh, so they gopis, they like blue cloth with a reddish hue. They don't like Pitambar. Why are you saying no? They love like yellow clothes. No, they don't like yellow clothes. They like uh, blue clothes. And then Kutla said, "O Same, Vrade Rade Tanaye." In various ways, these gopis are bound by the love for uh, the king of Vrindavan or the prince of Vrindavan, that is Krishna. Do you believe my words? And how Syamasaki took it, Vrajaraj Tanya? Said, no, you're absolutely wrong. How is it possible that they will take the silver ornaments of Vrindavan? Raja also means Rajat. Rajat means silver. So you mean to say that they have stolen silver? No, 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 no. They have not stolen silver. How can this steal silver from Vrindavan? Gopis don't do all these things of stealing. And then Kutla says, the minds of all the gopis have been stolen, Harina, by Krishna. And then she says, oh, Harin, Harin, Harin. Harin means also means deer. Oh, what? You're talking about a deer? Oh, oh, that is why I'm saying you are too talkative. You are repeatedly speaking very witty words with Agdha, but you are not qualified to speak like this. So don't speak anymore. And then Kutla says, you are right. I am not Vidagdha like you. I am not witty like you. You people are too clever. When I'm speaking direct things, you are speaking indirect things. If anybody can speak cleverly, then surely you can speak. Vidagdhi, you are Vidagdhi. You are very intelligent. And that's why Vidagdha. Dagdha means burning. You are you are burning my mind by I'm speaking direct things and you speak indirect things. You're burning up my mind by your words. All right. Then tell me why Radharani's body never displayed such characteristics which she's showing now. That means no, she's talking about Krishna. And then Sama said, actually, it is not because of that. So, as I was telling you before, gopis are worshipping different demigods. So, she has been worshipping Chandrasekhar, who is a devata. So, there is a devata called Chandrasekhar who never complains, who makes a deer-eyed one fortunate, who holds a half moon, basically, she's talking about Shiva, on his head. This one worships him with great determination. So Radharani is worshipping actually Chandrasekhar. And that is why her tender flower soft body has become pale and lifeless. So she's doing a lot of vrata, na? That's why she has become so pale and lifeless. And Kutila said, what is that Devata? And then Samasaki said, well, recently he became well behaved and now resides in our mind, that Devata. So now that Devata is not creating trouble for Radharani, that she is not, she's behaving madly. Now he has become proper. So now that Devata is no more haunting the Radharani anymore. So now you don't have to worry about it. So worry about her. Yes. Yes. Sankari Kaur Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my most respectful obeisances at the dust of your lotus feet. My very
Hare Hare.
respectful pranams to all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis here. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhu, I just have one question. What prompt did you give to create Kutila's image? Because she certainly looks very different from the other Sakhis, and she's chubby. And so I was just curious, like, how did you get the description and what could you put in as the input to get this image? This is fantastic.
So like fat, fat girl, fat angry girl.
Calling a woman fat, Prabhu, that's.
No,
I
no.
hope Gemini took it nicely.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Right. Hare Hare. So while they talked like this, suddenly rainy season came. So at that time, so this out Radharani, now comes Chandravali. So Chandravali, whose face defeats the beauty of moon, glowed with attachment for Krishna. And in her group, she along with her Sakhis enjoyed Krishna's association. So when Chandravali was experiencing aesthetic symptoms due to Krishna's love, the bodies of her Sakhis of her group were also displaying different aesthetic symptoms. So in this way, these chaste housewives of Vrindavan realized the sweet mellow of unending love. But since their families were unfavorable, so that's why they were
Yeah.
hesitating to show their attachment to Krishna. So by exhibiting various playful arts, the lotus-faced gopis, they enjoyed the refreshing association of Krishna. And in this way, the darling son of King of Vrindavan who is witty and expert in different arts, especially in the art of making love, now pervaded everyone's heart. So then Krishna wandered playful in the heart of the gopis, realizing the final sentiments of love of the gopis. Every morning during the rainy season, Krishna remained with his parents and cows, stayed in the Gosala until it stopped raining. Krishna reciprocated favorably with his parents by allowing them to fondle and caress him. Cows went out to pasture as soon as the sky cleared. In the evening, cows returned along with Krishna and his attractive herd boyfriends, mm, who behaved cordially with the elders at that time. And in the middle of the day, late at night, Krishna joyfully associated with the gopis. So actually, it's not me who was making the images. I don't want to take the credit. It's my wife who has made all the images.
Jai, beautiful. Each slide has such beautiful pictures. Jai.
I didn't make a single slide actually. She is the one who reads the entire thing, and then so this course it's not me alone. Jan Prue has been managing everything. He made many questions. My wife also made many questions. Then Jan Prue made the entire student handbook, and wife had made slides also. So I'm just making notes and speaking. So it's my little bit of my contribution. It's because of all these devotees that it has become successful. Hari. And all of your presentations that has made it successful. Hari.
Thank you so much.
Autumn season. So Krishna realized the arrival of autumn season with great enthusiasm. So there's no need of clouds in Sarat season, autumn season. So feeling dejected, the clouds turn their backs, they vacate the sky. In autumn season, there's no more clouds. The Sarat season appeared just as a wife whose mind flirts with happiness as she anxiously tries to please her husband. So the long-billed stork of the season looked as beautiful as the cheerful face of a newly married wife. And now you can see the next slide. So the description of Sarat season. Yes. So full of clear water and inhabited by many types of colorful birds and the reservoirs. So they all are compared to the housewives full of wealth of pure love. So because in the rainy seasons, the entire water becomes muddy. But by this time the mud settles and the water becomes very clear. The rows of pleasant and jubilant swans on the ground are compared to the ridge of white mountains appearing at the feet of autumn personified. So the swans here, you can see the white swans. They look like mountains. The singing storks are compared to the waste belt of autumn season. The abundance of blossoming blue lotuses, you can see the blue lotuses here. They appeared like the attractive blue eyes of newly married girl who enchants the eyes and mind of her husband. The fully cleansed earth and the crystal sky overhead resembles the pure mind of the sage. So there are birds called the chatkins grow in the lake and explode their white cotton seeds in all directions like the spreading fame of the Lord. Yes. You can see all these chatkins in North India during the arrival of the winter season, especially in Vrindavan. Deevandupu would often say, they're inviting you to Vrindavan. It seemed as if moon had been rubbed on a polishing stone to produce an extraordinary brilliant effulgence. The twinkling stars in the sky, they appeared like ointments smeared on the body of autumn personified. Because they were visible now, no more clouds were there. The sweet fragrance of chatima flowers enhanced the beauty of the forest. The rains falling from the garland of joyful clouds gradually reduced because there were very less clouds now. But certainly, even these clouds are the reminders of Balram. During the rainy season, the clouds are dark and they have a lot of water content. So they look blue, deep blue. Krishna's color is like that. And during the autumn season, clouds have less water and that's why they look white. And that exactly resembles the color of Balram. So after the dark clouds of the rainy season departed, the sky hosted a covering of thin clouds, which were white in color, which resemble the color of Balram. The sky looked like a woman wearing the dress of an ascetic. All the decorations were looking like the decorations on the bride of autumn season. And this way it was looking very beautiful. Due to separation from our rain cloud friends, the joyful waves of the river danced. They no longer had shortage of water because in the rainy season so much water came at that time. Many small and slow moving rivulets replaced the gushing main stream, and slowly these rivulets became dried up because no more rains were there. Transparent river water seemed to reveal the pure tendency of the heart because the mud got settled in the winter season. Migratory birds wandered along the dried banks of the river and they were decorating the ground unconsciously by the lines drawn by their beaks and their feet. Quacking ducks, storks, chakravakas, and intoxicated swans beautified the river. The beautiful scenery of Saraswati season attracted the denizens of heaven. Even Saraswati herself could not describe the extent of Vrindavan's incredible elegance. Acting as an expert dance instructor, the wind directed the pure white lotuses, you can see white lotus also, to gently rock back and forth. They were moving rock and forth. As it passed over the slowly moving waters, the wind became cool and scented with lotus pollens. Aromatic breeze satisfied everyone, enchanting everyone's mind. In this way, the bride in the form of Sharad season, Sharad Ritu, was dressed and ornamented herself. And Krishna found great happiness in the juncture between the rainy season and the autumn season, in between season. So moving with a delightful gait, Krishna pleased all the Vrajavasis. Uh, and he was pouring everyone with the mercy of his darshan. And now you can see in the next slide. Yeah. So the result, Vrajavasis felt great satisfaction seeing Krishna strolling along with his friends. So picking up twigs, wildflowers, mineral dyes from Govardhan, and other gifts of nature, cowherd boys decorate Krishna. Actually, Krishna loved these decorations more than the decorations of gold, ruby, etc. We say Yasodamaya would give him. So Krishna's nature will now be compared to the rainy season. There is analogy now, basically. Krishna is going to be compared to rainy season. So as rains of the rainy season agitate the mind of flocks of geese flying here and there, quacking overhead, quack, quack, quack. Similarly, Krishna is like that rainy season who induces the lust in the heart of gopis. So this geese are considered to gopis, and rainy season is compared to Krishna. Just as rainy season incites lusty feelings, similarly, Krishna causes his devotees to feel matchless happiness. Like Kadamba flowers bloom in the rainy season. uh, So similarly, Krishna was also wearing this garland of Kadamba flower, which was blooming in her body. Like rainy season is beautified with fanned tails of intoxicated peacocks. Actually, peacocks spread it for drying the feathers. But then they look very beautiful. We think that no, they are dancing to show their beauty, but they do it to dry it. So similarly, Krishna looks elegant with his crest of fresh, iridescent peacock feathers. He also wears a peacock feather. So in the rainy season, lightning bolts, they enhance the beauty of dark blue sky. Similarly, Krishna's yellow dress is compared to the lightning, and that lightning derides the brilliance of gold rubbed on a testing stone. Like monsoon sky glitters radiantly, similarly, Krishna possesses a brilliant, handsome aura. So you can see in the rainy season when clouds are there, there is sunlight doesn't come fully, but then it is spread everywhere. It looks very brilliant. So Krishna also looks very brilliant in that aura. And like clouds in the rainy season, they rumble, they thunder, and this thunder attracts the peacocks who dance around the in the rainy season. Similarly, Krishna's Murli is compared to the thundering, and that enchants all the Vrajavasis. The deer, birds, other animals, they never become satiated upon hearing that sweet sound of Krishna's flute. The sound of Krishna's flute causes the water trickling out of the mouth of the mountain caves. Mountain caves give huge reservoirs of water. The trees and creepers transform into liquid rasa. And especially it is spoken about the bamboo trees. So bamboo trees give some sap. So the lakes are compared to the mother of Murli. Bamboo trees are compared to the father of Murli. And when Krishna plays on the flute, the lakes are filled with lotus, which is like their hairs standing on the end. And the bamboo trees pour out sap, which is compared to the tears of ecstasy. So that's how they exhibit their ecstasy. Seeing, just see, our son is so fortunate that he's touching the nectar of Krishna's lips. Rivers stop moving back and forth. They swell in all directions to flood. And there are whirlpools formed in the Yamuna, which look like the hands of Yamuna. And it seems that Yamuna is offering this lotus on Krishna's lotus feet. So although flooding washes our river banks, but they magically reappear when Krishna plays on his flute again. So joyful Krishna gives happiness to everyone. At this time, he suffers in separation from the doe-eyed gopis who had sought him with their sidelong glances. So in this way, Krishna causes the meeting of rainy season and autumn season that brings rasa. And then you can see the next slide. Yeah. So peacock feather ascended the beautiful locks of Krishna's curly hairs. Karnika flower, you can see the Karnika flower hangs over his ears, which had glittering gold earrings, Makar Kundal. Krishna wears Makar Kundal. And that dangled attractively on his cheeks. He had effulgent golden dhoti, and Krishna looked extremely charming with his Vajanti Mala swinging on his neck. And dressed as best of the dancers, all attractive Krishna entered the village of Vrindavan. So we spoke this verse before, but I'll just describe it again. Barha peenam natavaravu karnayor karnikaram vibratavasa kanaka kapisam vajayantim chamalam randran venuradar sudaya purayan gopa vrindai vrindaranyam swapadaramanam pravisat gita kirti. So Barha Pidam Natavarapu. So Barha Pidam. Krishna wears this peacock feather. Natavarapu. He dresses like a dramatic actor. So if you see traditional dances, people have they dress very nicely. Krishna dresses like that. Karnayor Karnikaram. and in his ears he wears this karnikar flower. Vipratavasa Kanaka Kapisham, and he wears golden Afajan Dhoti, hmm, Vajantim Chamalam, and he wears this Vajanti Mala made of forest flowers. Hmm. Randran Venu Adar Sodaya, and then he fills this Venu with the nectar of his lips, Adar Sodaya. Pureyan Gopa Vrinde. And because flute has other holes, all these holes act like a fountain and they spread the nectar in the entire village of Vrindavan. So Vrindaranyam Swapadaramnam Pravisat Git Kirti. So in this way, with his feet, he enters in the village of Vrindavan. And that is how entire Vrindavan becomes drenched in this Adharamrit, the nectar of his lips. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu once got the Mahaprasad of Jagannath, so you were distributing that Mahaprasad to everyone. In whole night, he would cry remembering the nectar of Krishna's lips. And all the devotees are so fortunate, every day they enjoy the nectar of Krishna's lips in the form of Mahaprasad. That's why Prasad has a different taste. So now we'll go to the next next subtopic. That's glorious fruit of Krishna. So while ambling along the pathway, Krishna left different marks of bow, elephant, goat. A couldn't make it properly. All of them are in the one one place only. Elephant, goat, lotus, conch shell, thunderbolt. Sanchityet bhagavatas charnarvindam vrajrankusidaj sarodu radyam. Ustunga rakta velisal nakachakravala jusna bir ahat mahat dranandakaram. So Saroru, lotus is there. Sank, conch is there. Hmm. Vajra, Vajra is thunderbolt. Ankush is the elephant god. And Jusna bir ahat brahat dranandakaram. And from the nails of Krishna, the effulgence comes out. And that removes the darkness of ignorance within the heart. So anybody who meditates on the nails of Krishna gets the knowledge of Upanishads. Anybody who meditates on the thunderbolt sign in the lotus feet of Krishna, his sins of mountains of sins are destroyed. Anybody whose mind is not getting controlled, he can meditate on the sign of the elephant god in the lotus feet of Krishna. And his elephant like mind will be controlled. So that is how meditating on each or every science gives so much results. And all these lotus footprints are like decorations in the heart of Mother Earth. And they would look so beautiful. None of the gopas, the calves, or the cows would ever overstep on these lotus footprints. They were like decorations. Our footprints are there, then immediately it has to be wiped off. Krishna's footprints are very beautiful. Rather, remembering that Mother Earth would cry when Krishna left this world. Kavasa hetavarahan purusottamassa premavavrat valgu jalpe sanyam samanam aharan madhumaninina romo savo madangri vitankitaya. How can I feel that separation from Krishna? How can I tolerate that separation from Krishna? Mother Earth would cry. So in this way, holding the flute to his lips, Krishna played in a slow raga, and that's called Raga Mallav, Mallav Sri. So I don't know that Raga, Krishnangni Mataji may be knowing. And that's just fit for autumn season. So Krishna's red lips, which are red like bimbo fruits. So they drank the nectar, so the flute drank that nectar. And Krishna's fingers would dance on the holes of flute. So the abundant flow of nectar emanating from the belly of the flute spread it in the entire atmosphere. So besides this rag of Mallavsri, the flute seemed to produce a variety of personified tunes. Krishna's face looked very attractive, brightened with his white teeth, which were like jasmine buds, shining within the red lips. And because of that effulgence of the lips, sometimes teeth would also look little reddish. So, receiving the kiss from Krishna's dazzling smiling face, the flute enjoyed the same fortune as the lovers of Krishna, as the gopis got. So, although Murli is filled with so much holes, but she has no defects. It is astonishing that the hard flute softens the heart of heartless people. It has that power. It silences the deers. So, when deers they frolic here and there, they hear the sound of the flute, they stop. Birds who are traveling stop. Other forest animals also stop. The cows who drink the milk of their mother, they stop, and the milk starts pouring from their mouth. Though derived from bamboo, vamsa. So vamseeds, vamsi comes from the word vamsa, but actually it comes from the good vamsa, good family, like Chandra vamsa, Surya vamsa. In fact, all the chaste women with an intense attachment to Madhupati Krishna. Aha! Just see this Murli or Murari, although hollow, it holds the stream of ragas. It is formed from one section of a tree, but it initiates hundreds of festivals. So one section of tree is called Parva, but then it is Parvani. Parvani means festivals. The sweet sound of Murli simultaneously stuns the whole universe and fills everyone with joy. Murari's sweet flute engages the three worlds in marvelous pastimes. Entering within the ears, the vibration of Krishna's flute agitates one's body, mind, and senses. By nature, Krishna's flute is simple and sweet, but according to the mood of the listener, it manifests the nectar to some and poison to others. So those who are envious, they become poisonous, and for some people, it's nectarian. It causes river water to freeze. River which is liquid becomes solid. Mountains which are solid become liquid. They melt like rivers. Dead trees become filled with green leaves. The sages who are fixed in Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi, they become agitated. Oh, how can there be something realizable? Nati, nati, nati. No, 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 no. Among realizable objects, the best thing is Krishna's sound of Krishna's flute, which brings one to complete madness in bliss. It removes anxiety of all people, stops the movement of birds and animals. Krishna's flute is a treasure house of wonders. All glories to super excellent vibrations of Krishna's flute. Although there were unlimited groups of gorgeous gopis, they all had the great fortune of achieving highest love for Krishna, Krishna Prem. Gopis had peaceful natures and they had same object of meditation. And what was that meditation? The desire to attain Krishna. So these splendid beauties of Vrindavan prayed only for the supreme friendship within Krishna, with Krishna. And with great yearning, uh, they looked in the direction of the flute and embraced each other due to the sudden derangement of their minds. You can see the next slide. So when gopis would hear the sound of Krishna, they would behave as if they're mad and they would embrace each other. Overwhelmed with ecstasy, they uttered some sweet words to describe the transcendental qualities of Krishna. In this way, the Vraj gopis passed the day glorifying their beloved with poetic compositions. And nighttime they would just run. This is the description of daytime. The leaders of each group of gopis spoke two verses of praise. But they felt apprehensive about revealing their inner moods to common people. So in this way, in a hidden way, they would speak. Let us see what is that hidden way. How gopis would speak out Krishna. So one gopi said, how can I properly describe the fortune of one having eyes? To see Krishna's pastimes in the Vrindavan is the ultimate limit of vision. Lavanya saram asamurdham ananya siddham. Lavanya saram. It is filled with all the beauties. Uh, Asamurdham. Nothing is equal to it. Nothing is more than that. Ananya siddham. It is the perfection of all the achievements. So wandering in Vrindavan, Krishna pierces the hearts of everyone with his right restless sidelong glances. Those who see Krishna like this feel their bliss has risen to the zenith, its highest. The sound of his flute makes the whole world impatient. Those who have seen the inexhaustible beauty of Krishna and Balram tending their cows are most fortunate people in this world. We also want to become like that. But alas, alas, we have been deprived of this good fortune. Why? Because we are gopis. We are our husbands. We can't directly look at Krishna. Now they start glorifying other people's fortune. So they say, Beautiful peacocks' feathers caress their crowns and garlands, swing from their neck to ornaments, their elegant forms. Radiant tilak, made from various colored mineral powders, graces their foreheads. Buckets of small creeper and flowers ornaments their bodies. In this way, Krishna and Balram, so Krishna and Balram, they wear peacock feather, they have radiant tilak, they have various mineral powders in form of dots, gopi dots. So Krishna and Balram please the eyes of everyone with a charming beauty as they enter Vrindavan just like dramatic actors walking on the stage. Another Sakhi said, a person is considered fortunate even if he can see the Krishna's lotus feast from a distance. So even if somebody sees from a distance, he he can see that he has become very fortunate. Person who can kiss Krishna with the corner of his eyes, not physically with the corner of his eyes, is more fortunate. Person who can drink the nectar of his lips after he plays on the flute, like all the Brajavasis, he's even more fortunate. And then they glorify the Murli. Hey Murli, I'm not lying. You have a very special position because you are not just drinking nectar of Krishna's lips indirectly, you are drinking Krishna's lips of Krishna's nectar directly. So when Sam Sundar kisses you, you become overwhelmed and beautified by the touch of his teeth, glimmering white like rays of moon. And you echo the pleasant sounds of his young lovers at the time of union, and thus you drive the entire world mad. Krishna's brightly shining teeth are so beautiful that they look like ripe pomegranate seeds in the middle of a lotus flower, which is a mouth, of precious rubies embedded in the moon. So Krishna's face is compared to moon, and his teeth are compared to the rubies. Of course, these things are impossible. Therefore, nothing can be compared with the beauty of Krishna's teeth. Another Saki said, Murli is acting very boldly because he is tasting the lips of Krishna's nectar. Sorry, nectar of Krishna's lips, which are dear to his paramours like all of us. So Murli is drinking the nectar is meant for all of us. But Murli must be very fortunate because even without endeavoring, he can easily get the rarest jewel of Krishna's kiss. So before his evening bath, Krishna kisses his flute and imbibes his sweet rasa. The union of Krishna and his flute produces a nectar that makes the Yamuna aesthetic and turn solid. But for the blooming lotuses, feeling proud of their son, the flute, the bamboo trees along our banks shed tears in the form of honey dripping from the trunks. So the honey coming from the bamboo trees is the ecstasy of bamboo tree. Another gopi said, So another gopi desiring an eternal association with Krishna, yet fearing the separation, she said, the fortunate earth is so fortunate. This earth holds the position greater than Brahmaloka. She is supremely worshipable because Krishna marks her with splendid footprints, like an independent lover drawing designs on the breast of his beloved. The endless flow of nectar from Krishna's fruit has transformed her heart of Mother Earth. As one experiences ecstasy, hair stand on and there are bumps on the body. Similarly, grasses are compared to the hairs covering the earth, and the shoots are compared to the bumps which come on the body. So in this way, the glories of Vrindavan is far beyond the comprehension of any person like me. Peacocks feeling joy at heart begin dancing when they hear the sweet of Murli. Stunned by that sound, the soft leaves of creepers blowing in the wind become motionless. So they become stunned. They don't move when they hear the sound of Krishna's flute. So gopis are glorifying each and every personality, like they are telling about Earth. Earth is so fortunate that she never leaves Krishna. Daytime, gopis have to be separate from the Krishna. Nighttime, gopas have to be separate from Krishna. But Earth was always in touch with Krishna. Hmm. Another gopi group leader, longing to see Krishna, said, "O Sakhi, the deer and doe must have performed severe penances. That's why they hear Krishna's melodious flute and see his gorgeous face with their large innocent eyes. And now we can appreciate their fortune." So what basically they're saying is, for us, we are restricted to see Krishna. But deer, they can go with their doe, husband and wife can go together and they can have the son of Krishna. But we have to hide from our husbands to look at Krishna. Hey Sakhi, look, even the female parrots are fortunate than we are. Without any fear or innovation, they enjoy the lotus face of Krishna, which sends forth the nectarian sound of the flute. So they can go with their husbands and look at Krishna. Deer can go with the doe. Husband and wife can see together, but we can't see. So in this way, they have attained the highest perfection of eyes. We don't have that opportunity. Now you can see the next slide. Yes. Now they glorify the demigoddesses also. You can see the next slide. The wives of demigods and their husbands who are deeply attached to them are very fortunate. Why? Because they've developed love for Krishna. Therefore, they are always attracted to the captivating form of Krishna and they feel extremely impatient upon hearing Krishna's flute. Losing all the composure, demigoddesses become unsteady. Even while flying in the sky on the aeroplane, their hair braids loosen, the knots of their waist clothes slacken, they're agitated with their love, and they forget to drop soothing flowers. They came with the flowers to shower on Krishna, but they forget. Rather, out of ecstasy, they shower Krishna with the tears of their love. But what they're praising is that happens in front of demigods who are their husbands. They can do that, but we can't do that. We are so unfortunate. So even most fortunate gopis think that they are unfortunate. Now you can see the next slide. Yes. Now they describe about cows. So when cows hear Krishna's flute, they cock their ears and rapt attention like this. It goes straight to the direction where Krishna is playing flute. They close their eyes in bliss. And in this way, the sound of Krishna's flute enter in their ears like a constant flow of nectar. So cows appear like statues or they appear like paintings on canvas. Cows become inert from the captivating sound of the flute. So the teeth look very beautiful. They are like cows, even while sleeping, they keep on chewing, if you observe cows. But when they hear Krishna's sound of Krishna's flute, they stop chewing. And the sprouts hang from their mouths. You can see in the picture. Sprouts hanging from the mouth of these cows. Hmm. Yeah. While holding their mother's udder, the cows neither suck milk nor give it off. So the uh, m- uh, milk remains in the neck of their cows. So they don't neither swallow the milk which is there in the mouth nor they give it off. The pleasing sound of Krishna's flute steals the mind of the cows and fills them with satisfaction. So at that time, Mother Earth happily drinks the milk automatically streaming from cow's udders. So cows give so much milk, it goes directly in the ground rather than going in the mouth of calves. And now we can uh, see the next slide. Yes. Wait a minute. Yes. So these are birds. And then uh, another gopi said, "Hey Sakhi, abandoning their usual flighty nature, the birds of Vrindavan listen attentively, you can see here attentively, to the sweet sound of Krishna's flute, while relishing the beauty of his transcendental form. With their eyes closed in meditation on the music, they look like great sages steeped in bliss. Hey Sakhi, they've stopped flying, singing, eating, becoming fully absorbed in tasting the pleasant sound of Krishna's flute. The birds have fluffed out their finger feathers due to the static feelings of devotion. So this is about birds. Now the other Sakhi side, you can see in the next slide. Yes. Listening to the sweet sound of Murli, Yamuna and other rivers are intensely agitated. They're spinning in whirlpools. You can see whirlpools here. It seems they have been struck by Cupid's arrow and affected by type of epilepsy. That's why person affected by epilepsy can't move or moves very little. The swans and the chakravakas rolling in the waves of the river look like the disarrayed cloth of the river. So they look like clothes. The sandy banks look like the unclothed hips of the river. The bubbles on the surface seem like foam from the mouth of the river. So that is how they look. Hmm. The rivers, shivered in ecstasy from hearing Krishna's flute, are holding lotus flower in the hands. So between the whirlpool, there is a lotus. So it looks like somebody offering lotus from the hand in Pushpanjali. In the mood of his lovers, the rivers respectfully offer cool water to happily bathe Krishna's feet and remove the heat of walking on the burning earth of summer. The clouds acts friendly to the Sakhis and they cool down the hot air by pouring sprinkles of water on the head of Krishna. Yeah. Yes, Advitiya Gaurav.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Just a
Hare.
quick comment.
Mhm.
Every time I see a slide, I just feel there can be nothing better than this. Now it is just this is the best. The next slide can't be the best, but the next slide is just limitless. This is very beautiful, Prabhuji. Wow. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Anyway, one more thing is it's certainly Krishna's arrangement. Somehow, like Gemini became so good. And that time, we were trying to give this course since I think 1.5 years, 2 years. But it exactly came in that time when Gemini became so professional. So Krishna knows how to put the right things in the right time. Yeah.
Even Gemini didn't knew that he can be used in such a way.
Yeah. So anyway, Krishna knows how to engage even Gemini. Yeah. Now we can see the next slide. So observing that every living entity is serving Krishna so nicely, one gopi said, even the cloud, which is unconscious entity, can show so much affection by moving here and there, and this cloud acts like an umbrella shield on the head of Krishna, so that the scorching rays of sun doesn't touch Krishna. So when Krishna plays on his flute, the clouds remove the fatigue of the cow herding by pouring tiny streams of water from all the directions. And these streams look like the shower of camphor dust. Just see, only we have been cheated from tasting the sweetness of serving Krishna. Everybody is serving Krishna, which is being realized by everyone in the universe. Then the best of the gopis, thinking like this and feeling an arousal of enchanting love at the same time, said, mostly it is referring to Radharani. Just see the fortune of these Pulinda women. They thoroughly enjoy smearing their faces, their breast, with the kumkum fallen on the grass from Krishna's feet. So Krishna puts his feet in the breast of the gopis, and then it is filled with kumkum. So it falls here and there, and that is taken by the Pulinda woman, and they smear their faces with that kumkum. To realize Krishna's sweetness is the object of everyone's desire. So though the Pulindas are mere aborigines, we can't say that they don't deserve such a fortune. So it's quite proper that Pulinda women have genuine attachment to Krishna. Such signs of greed indicate the extent of one's real attachment to Krishna. So though one feels totally unqualified for such attainment, the greed for Krishna remains. And now, Gopi start glorifying Govardhan Hill. You can see in the next slide. Yes. So they remember the fortune of Govardhan Hill and revealed to a friend her intense desire to meet Krishna. So that time, Radharani speaks this verse. So it comes in Bhagavatam, but Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said that actually Radharani speaks this verse. Hantaya madri rabela haridasa varyo yada Ram Krishna charana sparsa pramoda manam tanoti sahago ganayostayoryat pani yasuyavasa kandara kanda mule. So Hantayam adri rabela haridasa varyo. This Adri Govardhan is the best of Haridasas, servants of Krishna. Yada Ram Krishna Charana Sparsa Pramoda. It is always in ecstasy, where it has the touch of the lotus feet of Krishna and Balram. Manam Tanoti Sah Go. So it serves the cows, Ganayos, Gopas, or the associates of Krishna. How? By supplying the kandamul, that's the roots, the fruits, the water, the mineral colors, the caves which are warm in the winter, cool in the summer season. In this way, Govardhan is the Haridas variety, the best servitor of Krishna. So it is known that by serving a great devotee, one can attain Vishnu. So by selfless service, Govardhan has brought Krishna under his control. He has served Krishna so nicely. And then it looks again Radharani speaking. O Sakhi, it is our opinion that Krishna fulfills the desires and relieves the thirst of those who have taken shelter of Govardhan. This fact is supported by Shastric evidence. That means if you take shelter of Govardhan, Giriraj, Krishna fulfill all your desires. The unmarried gopis held by Dhanya Sakhi. So she showed great fortune by manifesting the ongoing strong attachment to Krishna. So this is a group of gopis. In the previous lives, they were girls of Mithila. So when Lord Ram went to marry Sita Devi in Mithila, so that time all these young girls of Mithila were saying, why Lord Ram has taken Ek Patni Vrat? He should take Anek Patni Vrat. He should marry us all. But then Lord Ram had taken Ek Patni Vrat. That's why they appeared as these Sakhis. So Dhanya Sakhi is one of them. So she was manifesting strong attachment, all these gopis, this group of gopis. So the astonishing power of their yearning for Krishna revealed itself in newer and newer ways. But the secret longing for Krishna created a sense of bewilderment in their minds. So although expert in loving affairs, uh, so rather, even the experts in loving affairs, they can't understand the intensity of Gopi's desire because transcendental is not material. So just hearing the flute song of Krishna paralyzes one's senses, hands, and feet. The unpredictable nature of prema had put all these gopis in embarrassing position. So why Dhanya Sakhi is mentioned, she's going to come in next chapter. Hmm. That is Krishna stealing the garments. So overwhelmed in love for Krishna, they embraced each other and they spoke. Oh Sakhi, the sound of Krishna's flute is like a powerful yogi transforming the nature of reality with his mantra. It makes the conscious become unconscious and it gives life to the lifeless. So gopis who are conscious become unconscious. The mountains which look like lifeless become life, are filled with life. Oh Sakhi, look, all the aquatics, birds, deer, this remain stunned like statues upon hearing Krishna's flute. The trees, earth, and mountain melt into liquid, solid becomes liquid, and their hairs on their body stand erect. Liquid like Yamuna becomes solid, solid like Giras becomes liquid. Seeing the flutes able to drastically alter the state of other moving and non-moving entities, gopis worried upon holding their vows. So one gopi said, can any young woman possibly stop the low sound of that resonating flute with that enemy of Kaliya, Kaliya Mardan? So now this gopi, earlier gopis were glorifying, this gopi start criticizing flute. He say, this flute, uh, when it plays, it is so terrible that it brings about a state of death like that induced by poison. So rather than stopping this flute, we simply become playthings in the hands of that flute. That flute sound is blemish on our family. Why? By hearing that flute, we run to Krishna. We become helpless. But what to do? If we can't hear it, then we die from separation. If we hear it, we run towards Krishna. Family prestige is gone. And if we don't hear, then we die with separation. So in this way, agonized by the pain of separation, we absorb our minds in remembering the Prince of Vrindavan, Krishna, who is the Lord of our hearts. His fickle mind is always agitated by lust. Every day he proudly displays the attracting power of flute song and enjoys a festival beneath the trees of Vrindavan. Mandara mule vadana biramam. So Mandara mule. Bimbadhare purit venunadam. Go gope gopi ganamadhya samstham. Govinda damodara madhaveti. So they also say the same thing. Mandara mule. Mandara mule vadana biramam. So the embodiment of bliss plays on flute under the coral tree. Go gope gopi madhya samstam. Surrounded by the cows, the gopis, the gopas, Krishna plays on the flute. But still the residents of Vrindavan always offer him great respect. With the sweetness of his effulgence, he pleases all living entities and satisfies the whole world. And then they say, When will we smell Krishna's sweet lotus face that's framed by thick, glossy lock of his blue hairs? His eyebrows dance on his broad forehead. His nose is so beautifully raised. When an object falls into the ocean of sweetness, it also manifests sweetness. Similarly, the yellow rope draped attractively on his turban, which he uses for tying the cows whenever he milks. So some cows know they don't allow you to milk. So Krishna uses that silk rope from the turban to tie the hind legs of the cows. Has become joyful by contacting his blissful form. Moreover, the young gopis who worship Tambula scented lips of Krishna, because Krishna is Pan, Tambula, are bordered by his cheek, are supremely fortunate. His dancing Makar Kundal, sack-shaped earrings, set with jewels and flowers, cast reflections on his cheeks like sparkling bubbles. So the Krishna's cheeks become sparkling. What woman does not desire to embrace the broad chest of Krishna, who is adorned with forest garlands, the marks of Lakshmi and Srivatsa mark, and brilliant jewels and pearl necklaces on his chest. So now they're describing Krishna's chest. Slowly, generally we go from lotus feet to up, but in Raghavanaga Bhakti, directly they are looking at face and now they're going down. So they describe the face of Krishna, now they're describing on the chest of Krishna. Now they go more down. Whose lake of heart would not become agitated by his two arms, which hang at his side like turn off pair of intoxicated baby elephants. Like elephants have the trunk, Krishna's hands look like. Desiring to snatch the nectar beauty of his knees. So Ajanulambita Bhajo. Krishna's hands and Lord Chaitanya's hands would go till the knees. Within our heart, we hold his waist, which is surrounded by three graceful folds of skin. So it's called Valgu Udara. Like banyan leaf has a three lines. Similarly, Krishna's waist also has three lines, or the belly has three lines. Nowadays, people go to the gym and they make this abs because they're there within Krishna. Although measuring only the size of fist, Krishna's thin waist is exceedingly powerful and makes us weak. So they have reached till waist. The lines of hairs extending from his navel to his broad chest resembles a row of beautiful kalpatru trees. So there is a marking of the hairs from the navel to the chest of Krishna. They look like fine hairs on the back of a bumblebee, or a black snake that bites our chest when we tightly embrace him. So it is a line, so it looks like a snake. Now they go to the feet. We are saying no, that's it's opposite. His elegant feet marked with lotus, gourd, thunderbolt defeat the beauty of red lotus flowers. His toes sprinkled with the effulgence of jeweled inlaid anklets. And then they say, when will those feet of the ornaments be kept on our breast? Arpayadihan. Thus, Dhanya Sakhi and other beautiful young gopis disclose their intense craving to meet Krishna. So, since Mahaprem had arisen within them, they were manifesting so much longing that their throats choked up from the live air rushing out of their bodies. Yado hane avane mathanopalepa प्रेंकांकनौ करदतो दम्मार्जनान्दु गायन्ति चैनमनुरक्तधियो श्रुकण्ठ्यो धन्नावजस्त्रिय urukramachittayana. So gopis are dhanna. They are so, maybe it's referring to dhanna sakhi also. Dhanna. They are very glorious because when they would remember Krishna, what will happen? And when would they remember Krishna? Ya dohane. when they would milk the cows. Avahane, mathano pelepa. When they would do uplep, they would put cow dung in their houses. Prinking kenang rodrotan mandanandu. Prinking kenang rodrotan means prinka is called the these swings in which babies lie down. So they would play with their babies. They would lie down like that, and they would sing about Krishna, remember Krishna. Uh, and cleaning, they would clean when they would Madanando means cleaning. So Gayanti Chanam Anurakto Dhiyasu Kantyo. When they would sing about Krishna while doing all these things, the throats will be choked with emotions and because of longing for Krishna. Hmm. So tossed by the insurmountable waves of desire to meet Krishna, they spend the days of autumn season with great difficulty. Hmm. And now you can see in the next slide. Yes. So in this way, when the winter season quickly arrived, the goddesses, the gopis began to worship goddess Katyayani. So Dhanna and other Sakhis were unmarried, unlike Radharani and Chandravali who were married. They came to the banks of Yamuna, worshipped goddess Uma or Katyayani during the first month of winter season, Margshira. So when Kartik ends, then Margshira starts. So then these are the days when all these gopis were unmarried gopis. They would worship Katyayani. So at this time, the ripened rice spread in the field display mixed colors of red and brown. Bent in humility, the rice paddy expresses a desire to drink the water made fragrant by white lilies. So white lilies are nearby, and all these rice paddies they bow down. The newly sprouted barley spread a red and brown colors across the fields. The growth of anise and bushes of coriander sweeten the heart. So the coriander everywhere, dhania, coriander. Spinach blossom in the household gardens. Winter season time you can eat a lot of spinach. Fields abundant with sugar cane spread in all the directions. So in this way, the first month of winter displayed immense splendor with its wealth of agricultural products. And the Vraj Kumaris like Dhanna Sakhi, who possess unlimited affection for Krishna, played the part of sadhakas, who are trying to get purity of their love for Krishna. And they take a vow. What they take is a vow? May the virtuous son of Nanda Maharaj become our husband. So in this way, they secretly worship goddess Katyayani to attain Krishna. Yes. Okay. Okay, it's already over time. So we'll continue with our next chapter on Krishna stealing the garment of the gopis. Hari Hari. So
Hare
tomorrow,
Krishna Prabhu.
Hari.
Quick question, Prabhu.
Mhm.
Tomorrow we have our CBA. We have class after that, or it's just the exam date.
As far as I know, it's only just exam. Jan Prabhu
Just
can
one
answer this question. Yeah.
Yeah.
No class, Prabhu. So
Yeah.
only exam.
Yes. So only exam is there. So tomorrow you'll get opportunity to remember Krishna, meditate on Krishna in form of writing exams. It would be like
And
a
you
hot,
will,
yes, yes. It would be like hot
you,
sugarcane juice. It's hot because you have to remember, and the sugarcane juice you don't want to give it up.
yeah. And you will relish our presentation in terms of our answer sheets. Prabhu.
Yes, surely. Hari. Yes, Aditi Gaurav.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I was asking that Mayapur institution has stopped taking the sessions on Hindi. मतलब Yeah, in general. Like I was watching some of your Bhakti Vaibhava videos on YouTube
Mm-hmm.
in which you were talking in Hindi. So I just understood that these courses are in Hindi.
Mm-hmm.
But now I am seeing in Mayapur Institute site that there is no course in Hindi.
I think what is happening is actually if they get the audience,
Yeah.
then they do
Okay.
it. So I personally give a lot of Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav courses both in English and Hindi. But it seems that not many devotees, Hindi speaking devotees turn up.
Mm.
So that's why it's disappearing. It can reappear if Hindi speaking devotees come.
Ah.
Actually speaking, maybe because it's my native language, so I realize more speaking in Hindi.
Mm.
But then Krishna Katha is Krishna Katha.
Prabhu, is there any Bhakti Vaibhav module 1 starting anytime soon? I got a flyer for Bhakti Vaibhav module 2. The timing is perfect. Saturday, Sunday morning, 7 to 9:30 a.m. IST. I was wondering if there is any Bhakti Vaibhav module 1 coming up around the same
One
time.
module is already going on. Another one maybe it's coming up because there are many modules which come up. You can find
Mhm.
it in the maybe website or Jan Prabhu know,
Yeah,
then he can tell.
I
Yeah, I don't know, Mataji Prabhu. You may just check it in the website. It will
yes,
come
Prabhu.
there.
Yeah, I did actually. So yeah, the ongoing one, I think it just started in the month of April.
Hmm.
Um, yeah.
They had invited me for a course today
Mhm.
only. Ojo Sipru called me. So one course is going on that I know.
Yeah,
So
Prabhu.
that's in the early morning. I think 5:30 to 7:30 something like
Okay. That's good on the weekend. That's a good time when
that.
everybody's sleeping. We can start the day with Srimad Bhagavatam, nothing like it. Prabhu, after this, how about Gopal Champu?
See, I'm ready. Jan Prabhu has to be ready. Jan
Because
Prabhu was
now
saying that
if we are starting
Jan
with
Prabhu
Champu,
was saying that no, maybe devotees will get diabetes because too much of sweet is there. So I'm ready.
Prabhu, this diabetes is better. Let us die with this diabetes. I don't think anybody will mind.
Jan Prabhu can answer this question. Over to Jan Prabhu.
We can
Yeah,
die from this diabetes, probably. That would be happy ending.
yeah, actually, yeah, I'm glad that you have liked this course, and of course, Prabhu has been giving very, very nice presentation. So, so you may not know actually. Let me give you a little bit of background of this one. So, basically, our Acharya Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has actually given a curriculum, a very detailed curriculum, which we should try to teach sometime in Mayapur in some institute. So that's what we are trying to do. And actually, this is the first course in that curriculum. So there are many courses we are planning. Like next, I was discussing with Prabhuji maybe one course on Upanishads and so on. So those also might be interesting for you. So we'll see. Like because Gopal Champu is very similar to Ananda Vrindavan Champu, we were planning to have it little later, uh, and maybe we're thinking now we should do some serious philosophical course like Upanishad to have a variety and so on. But yeah, it is not. It has not been fully decided yet. We'll see. Yeah,
Sure, Prabhu. Whatever comes up, we will gladly join. This is such a nectar.
yeah.
Yes, Aditi Gaur Prabhu, you can speak.
Yeah. I have a similar realization about this. Like how students in
So
school do. Matlab Monday to Sunday they study and they think, oh wow, this is Monday to Saturday they study and they think now this is Sunday,
uh,
wow, we will rest. I
uh,
am doing Bhakti Shastri from Monday to Friday
Oh,
from 6:30 to 8:30, and after that, I think, oh wow, yes, now Saturday, Sunday came. Now I'll have my Vrindavan Champu class and I'll just relish the nectar of Krishna Leelas. So,
yeah.
Monday to Sunday, it's Krishna. And yeah, that's how bhakti works, I guess.
Yes, yes. So
Uh,
anyway, So Jan Pro is the deciding one. So if you have any recommendation, give to Jan Pro. I'm a servant. Whatever he says, we are ready. Sorry.
I also wanted a I don't want to, I want, but if some in some near future, if Bhakti Vaibhav module 1 Monday to Friday is happening for 4 months, uh, online only, that would be very nice. I don't know if when, but
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah,
whenever.
Jan Pro can tell to OSP Pro, they can design it. We had a courses like even when I was doing my Bhakti Vedanta, so it was like a Monday to Friday, and every Saturday we would have exams.
Hmm.
So we continued it for 3 years. 2 years, no, 3 years, yes. Not 3 years, 4 years. Yes, 4 years. Because Bhakti
Wow.
Vedanta is double of Bhakti Vaibhav.
Hmm. Jai.
Jai.
Hari Hari. Okay, so we'll end here. श्री आनंद वृंदावन चंपू की जय, मोर मुकुट ओम शिवालय कृष्ण भगवान की जय,
Jai.
कवि कर्णपुर की जय, शिल्पोपात की जय, वांछा कल्पद्रुवस्य कृपा सिंधु
Shri
पतितनां पावने वैष्णव
Shri Shri
शिल्पोपात की जय.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you so much.
थैंक यू. हरि
Thank
हरि.
you.